Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I've got an unexpected video for you about Microsoft buying Activision for $68 billion. And I want to say that again, Microsoft bought all of Activision for $68 billion. That means they own Activision Publishing, Blizzard, Activision Blizzard is the same thing, King, and all these other companies. So Microsoft owns Warcraft, Diablo, Overwatch, Call of Duty, Candy Crush, Skylanders, basically all of that stuff. And it is a massive acquisition. Microsoft buying Activision is probably the largest gaming acquisition of all time. I'm not aware of any company buying another company this valuable in the gaming space. It's a rare one in the corporate world in general. So big, in fact, that the newly formed Microsoft Gaming will almost immediately be the third largest gaming company in the world by revenue, behind Tencent and only barely behind Sony, which is massively invested in gaming. And if you may remember correctly, Microsoft recently bought LinkedIn for $26 billion, which is absurd because I had no idea LinkedIn was that valuable or why. And also Bethesda for $7.5 billion as well. So Microsoft is on a spending spree with gaming. This deal does have to be approved by federal regulators. There's antitrust to go through, and it takes a long time. So they're expected to close the deal sometime in fiscal year 2023. So probably 2 Call of Duties for now is when this will all be finalized if it gets approved by regulators. And some of you with a sharp eye may have noticed I'm wearing my Mixer hoodie today. If you remember when I used to stream on Mixer, we'll be talking about Mixer and Microsoft in a minute here. But for now, I want to point out something very interesting that Carnage AK from the Carnage Clan saw. He's big into trading and stocks, and he noticed that somebody bought $1.5 million worth of stock options on Activision on Friday afternoon, near to market close. Well, after this announced breaks pre-market on Tuesday morning, the share price jumped over 30%. So whoever did that investing almost certainly got themselves a multi-million dollar huge, that's definitely insider trading. It's very sketchy. On that same note, this probably means that the majority of the executives at Activision just got a golden parachute. By now, I think the entire gaming community knows that Activision Blizzard is underwater with a California and maybe federal lawsuit and personal lawsuits and all this kind of stuff about sexual harassment at the office, to the point where it got quite bad. They hired people that defended war criminals and union busting firms to come in and try and fix this up, and it was kind of a big mess, and it just tanked their share price. Activision share price is just massively down even after this little spike of this news today because of the effects of the lawsuit, which is probably one of the reasons that Microsoft acquired them. I imagine Microsoft was wanting to acquire them for a long time. This deal was in the works. But as the lawsuit dragged on and the damages added up and the federal regulators got involved and Activision lost 30-40% of its value as a company, Microsoft said, I gotta buy this. They're on sale. It's a discount. We gotta do it. The bad thing is that the executives in charge of Activision during the time of this sexual harassment and these assaults, and even the ones that helped cover it up, all had stock options. So they just got a lovely golden parachute from Microsoft, which is kind of frustrating for me. But let's talk about some more positive things. Let's talk about what this could mean for the future of Call of Duty. The reason for this purchase, as according to Xbox at least, is that they wanted to expand their Game Pass business model. They currently have 25 million subscribers for Xbox Game Pass, which is on the low end. There's a couple of tiers. The lowest end is $10 a month. So that's $250 million a month in revenue, which is very impressive. That's a few billion dollars per year. And the idea behind acquiring Bethesda and then Microsoft is that they will have the ability to add more premium games to the Game Pass and keep pushing that service as kind of the way forward for Xbox, so that instead of buying games all the time, you're probably more likely to rent or to lease them. If you think about Netflix, Amazon Prime, maybe Crunchyroll or Shudder, they're smaller players, all these streaming services out there, the way they make money is by spending some amount of money to buy exclusive rights to a film or a series or produce their own, and then they release it exclusively on their platform, where in most cases you can't buy it. You can only subscribe to Netflix to watch it. Some of their super popular ones, they do limited run Blu-rays and stuff like that, like for Stranger Things. But the basic gist of the model is they want people to subscribe to the platform to watch Stranger Things, because that's the only place you can get it. And I think that's what Microsoft wants to do with their gaming platform. They don't want to be out there as a publisher. They don't want to be a console manufacturer. They want to be the very first company to successfully have a massive Game Pass where people will pay $10, $15, maybe $20 a month, and they'll have access to hundreds of games. Not just games from Bethesda, EA, but now also Blizzard, Activision, King Entertainment, if you want to play Candy Crush, I guess. They want to build a massive library of really good AAA sort of first-party games that they can sell exclusively and bump that subscription model up, because service models and subscription models is kind of the future of everything. Like, every business in the world is going to the subscription model. Everything, even things I never would have thought could be a subscription service, people are pushing or only selling subscription services for. So that's probably where this is going in 2, 3, 4 years, something like that. The next interesting topic to talk about is that the CEO of Microsoft Gaming, Satya Nadella, says that the deal will, quote, play a key role in the development of Metaverse platforms. I just need a minute with that one. I do videos on it, I do content about it, it's amusing to me, but I am not a believer in the Metaverse. More specifically, I'm not a believer in the Metaverse that Facebook is building. I don't think highly of Facebook as a company. They banned me from their everything for a reason. I can't even have Snapchat because I criticize them, which is annoying. But I criticize them because I found them to be generally evil, and I have a huge distrust for the Metaverse and Metaverse NFTs. I was very unhappy when Facebook bought out Mixer, where I was streaming happily, contently, shuttered the entire platform, moved over everybody to Xbox, to Facebook Gaming with no heads up or anything. It was a big hassle there. So the idea that part of this is to prep for the Metaverse, and that Microsoft is going to continue their partnership with, you can see it's like 8 in the morning. This whole news has exhausted me. That Microsoft is going to continue their partnership with Facebook for VR and other stuff moving forward. It's just deeply troubling for me, but the money is there and they're going to chase the money, so I get that. So let's talk about some potential for positive changes. One of the major positive changes is a change in corporate culture. Activision's corporate culture is toxic, misogynist, dangerous, at least according to all the lawsuits. Now, the people I know there are all fine, lovely people. All the influence events are great. All the E3 events have been great. I haven't been there for everything, everywhere, in the office, whatever, but the majority of the people I meet are great, yet there's clearly a problem with the corporate culture and the leadership at Activision. With a new boss, it doesn't look like Bobby Kotick is going to be CEO of Activision, and it actually looks like a number of the executives might be retiring, changing, cashing out stock options, or moving somewhere else within a couple of years, which is common of corporate takeovers. But when Microsoft takes over, they might be better. Now, Microsoft is way far on sort of the woke end of corporate culture, but they're definitely not misogynist or homophobic or any of that kind of stuff. So they'll probably try to clean the place up a bit, and I think that could be a good thing. Microsoft could definitely help Activision with the back end of their technology. Something like Battle.net is probably inferior to a lot of Microsoft services. It's not super sophisticated as a platform, could use some love. Now at least we can directly integrate those like cross-platform game invites with Xbox instead of having weird PC Xbox kind of problems. Maybe they can update the website, they can do mobile integrations. There's a whole bunch of stuff that Microsoft can do sort of on the backbone technology for all of this, and they can share game engines and expertise across Bethesda, the Halo, and Call of Duty now if they want to, if there's a need for that crossover. There might be a change in influencer relations, which is, for me, very interesting. That could mean more potential money, more early access, more invites to things, less invites for things. That can kind of go either way. There's very likely going to be a change for console exclusivity. I would wager that when this deal is done, Call of Duty goes back to being primarily an Xbox game. They might actually still sell on PlayStation and do both, but like all the DLC and all the exclusive stuff and early access, all that's almost certainly going to go to Xbox, if not the entire franchise, which leads me into a section of potential for bad changes. When it comes to exclusivity, the only way to play Call of Duty in 2024 might be on the Xbox Game Pass. That would be my #1 bet, because that's really how you turn profit out of acquiring a company and doing a subscription service model. So I would wager that it might not just be like, oh, they get DLC early, but it might be a true exclusivity change, which would be bad. I am of the opinion that Microsoft is kind of the grim reaper of product acquisitions. When they buy a product, in the last decade or so that I have experienced this, it almost always gets worse. I mean, you can look at Mixer, they got shut down, or another great one is Skype. Skype used to be amazing. After Microsoft bought it, it was a constant downhill slide, and now Skype is integrated into my OS so deep that I can't uninstall it, and it still randomly boots up and tries to do things like a virus, so nobody uses it. Microsoft Windows is free now because people didn't want to pay for it. Like, when it comes to like product lifespan, Microsoft's acquisition and maintenance is not the best in the world. And I also just don't like their ties to Facebook. I just don't like the corporate partnership with Facebook. I think I just generally don't like Facebook at all because of the crazy unethical stuff that they do with their platform and don't seem to care about it. And now Call of Duty and Microsoft is going to be working with them, so I have moral quandaries. They might not even work with, they might kick me out since I'm all banned on Facebook and stuff, which is kind of annoying. Yeah, sorry for the kind of negative video today, guys. I just woke up here at like 8 in the morning. The dog's crapping all over the floor. It's super not my time. Mornings are not where I do my best. And the first thing I wake up to is this massive game-changing bombshell news in the gaming community that is uniquely at a nexus of like 3 or 4 different competing corporate interests to me and how I pay my bills and make my living. So it's a very stressful time. And I'll just say that I hope for the best with this transition. I hope that everything that I put in the good section is true and nothing I put in the bad section comes out to be true, but I guess only time will tell. Hope you enjoyed this somewhat rambly video. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.